everyone, Artist Wayne here with wife Jackie, and we're heading to Frying Pan Creek to meet up with 30 other boys and girls for an awesome riding weekend in the beautiful Chichester State Forest on the east coast of New South Wales. Frying Pan Creek is located about 20 minutes from the small town of Dungog. Not only would we be sitting around the fire, drinking and talking shit, but we were here to ride. Typically, we found ourselves waiting on Mad Mal to start his crappy enduro bike.
What are you doing, Mal?
Fancy keeping all these riders waiting. Do some fucking maintenance, Mal.
Your legs don't have the power.
Once Jesse the Juggernaut and I got him going, we were free to ride. 30 enduro riders smashing through the gnarly trails. What a big group! What could possibly go wrong? Finally, we were hitting the fast and furious trails of Frying Pan Creek with all the action covered by our intrepid cameraman Gazgaz, Santiago, who was also our lead rider, Ash, aka Christian, and of course yours truly. The only person who promised to bring a camera but didn't was Adrian the pin-up boy. He probably couldn't find a waterproof one in time. He would, however, be our sweep rider for the day. Naturally, Mad Mal brought a camera, but it didn't work, just like his KTM. Within the first half an hour, our first rider to hurt himself was our mate, Rocket. Apparently he tried to do the splits like he used to do in his younger Saturday Night Fever days, and pulled a hammy.
I fucking videoed it after you went down. No!
And whilst Michael Calamari was helping Ash do some work on his bike, Rocket would return to base and spend the day with wife Jackie and Catherine touring Dungog, sipping on lattes, having a pub lunch. Well played, Rocket, well played. Another rider who found himself in the wars was Rob, aka Bert. However, he was able to soldier on. And this is also where Santiago handed over the lead rider reins to Mad Mal. We found ourselves in a constant state of stop.
Off we go. Ride it, Santiago. Oh dear.
In all the times riding here, I have never ever come across so many obstacles to get over. So many bloody trees and logs, and they were all on one trail.
Yeah.
And it was on this tree that we had a Watto's Boys reunion with Super Sam, Guy and the Wombat. Ah, the Combat Wombat, who would become one of the main stars of this riding film. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, that was yet to come.
Wombat! Wombat! Yeah? Thing doesn't have to duck! Got him! Hey! Crunch on leader! Nearly! Nice!
After all those fallen trees and logs to get over, finally we were free! Finally we were out in the open! Well, so we thought. Apparently creek crossings are fraught with danger.
Go, I'll get you on video, go.
Poor Johnny, he was the first to drop his brand new KTM in the drink. That's right, he picked this bike up on the morning they travelled up here. It had 0 hours on it. But Johnny didn't need to worry, he wouldn't be the only one to drop his bike today. Those that had short little legs like Bing here would find it very difficult on this crossing.
This way, wait!
Lucky Big Mick has long legs. What a save by Marcus the Elf.
Go right!
And now Benny Big Unit was copping a shower. You can see these two are mates, can't you? This was like watching a nature documentary. You know, when wildebeest are crossing a river, trying not to get pulled under by big crocs. Or in this case, big rocks. Damien doing it like a boss. Here we see a lone combat wombat successfully crossing the river. This time. Not so for the hapless Ash, aka Christian. Second man to drop his bike under. And guess what? He was about to start a trend. It was now Dean's turn to go swimming. Oh, look at this bloke, he's the real deal, riding a Yamaha WR250R. That's an adventure bike. It'll eat this stuff for breakfast. And then the pin-up boy did this. He's been riding so well lately, I've been telling everybody about him. And as if Dean wasn't having a hard enough time already, Adrian tries to push him over again. Adrian! You could easily be mistaken for thinking that Josh was on a little speedboat. Well, I think it was safe to say that nearly half the group almost dropped their bikes in the water, and 4 guys did.
Oh, it's hydrated, it's not yellow.
Oh, man. Once all the bikes were drained, plugs were pulled and put back in, all the bikes were started. All bar the pin-up boys. This bike would take some Gazgaz ingenuity. Just look at that, it's the KTM Express. Well done, boys, they finally got Adrian the pin-up boy's bike up and running. Finally we were free to ride once again, but for how long? The way things were going, who knows what could happen today.
Don't try not to dig a hole. Yeah, try not to dig a hole there. You'll fuck everyone. Nice.
Guys stopped to explain to Gaz that Adrian the pin-up boy and Mad Mel were having trouble starting their bikes, as I came to another creek crossing. Thankfully this one was shallow, and hopefully wouldn't give anyone any trouble. Peanut Boy continuing on a bike that wasn't running the best. And Mad now continuing on a bike that he does no maintenance to whatsoever. Super Sandy Boy letting Gaz know he was the last man. At least now we knew we had a solid sweep rider. I now found myself at a deeper creek crossing. Fingers crossed there'd be no more upsets and maybe we could get way more riding in. Santiago was across. Andre was across.
How are you, bro?
Chris was across.
Good, mate.
Johnny looked a little worried, but now he was across. Along with Jesse the Juggernaut. The man who brings the biggest logs, Brendo. Dion, Gaz's new best friend Dave, Rob aka Bird, Big Mick, and even Mad Mal the bin chicken made his way across with relative ease. Maybe things were looking up and we could get more of a ride in today. Adam made the crossing, along with Marcus the Elf. And you can blame Chris for the nickname Marcus. And I must admit it was looking very touch and go whether Marcus was going to make it across or not. Oh well, if you're going to drop your bike, I guess that's the best place to do it. Not like the aquatic combat wombat, who managed to turn his Erzberg into an iceberg. It's winter here in Australia, boys and girls, so the water is freaking freezing. Oh well, Super Sam would come to the rescue and head across, and he'd help to get the Combat Wombat's KTM going before everyone else got across. Like Todd on his Yamaha WR450.
Just go around the big rock.
And the famous Michael Calamari, who clearly can't take directions.
No, I said go around it.
Ash, who must have been relieved he got across this time. Simon, the quiet achiever.
Yeah.
Lyndon.
Yeah, Lyndon.
Fellow Watto's boy, the guy we call Guy. Adrian, the pin-up boy for Amarok, Australia. Woo. Damien, who was struggling like a soldier after a big crash. Dean, whose bike was clean, inside and out, and his mate Josh, still riding his little speedboat. And last but not least, my mate Gazgaz. You know, boys and girls, it's not just about the riding, It's the banter you have around the campfire late at night. It's the laughs and the loves and the camaraderie. It's Big Jace the bodyguard chopping trees down at 12 p.m. at night. It's Michael Calamari's famous desserts. It's watching Gazgaz stagger off to bed, trying to find the zipper to his swag whilst he's half cut. It's Michael the Combat Wombat sending me a message asking me to let everybody know that it was his first full ride back after breaking 12 bones in February. He just wants a little dignity. Oh, my little riding movie stars, they're such prima donnas. It's having a sneaky sausage sizzle with the famous Watto's boys after the ride. But at the end of the day, it's having great mates to ride with. The blokes that ride beside you, who have your back, who get out their tools and help you work on your bike after you've turned it into a submarine, but cheered and laughed when you did it. So to all you warriors of Frying Pan Creek, I salute you. I'm Artist Wayne Dowsett, and thanks for watching, everyone.